I appreciate everybody making time for this press briefing today. I wish that we did not have to have it. Obviously, we wanted to have this press briefing to address the tragic circumstances which occurred on Friday at Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Just another one of a number of all too tragic school shootings, which are unfortunately becoming all too common in our country. I was a middle school principal when Columbine first occurred, and I remember thinking how horrific it was, but how unique it was, never thinking that it would be the first of what seems a never-ending occurrence of school violence. Violence being perpetrated on our young children and our dedicated teachers and staff across the country serving them. What happened in Connecticut was the second worst school shooting in the history of this country. And if you weren't impacted by the pictures of those young children, lives tragically cut short, hearing the heroism of teachers giving the ultimate sacrifice as they served their children, if you were not moved into action by that, I don't know what will move anyone. And that's, as a country, what we have to do. We have to go from having conversations about what it's going to take to keep schools safe and to take action to ensure that schools are safe. In Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, the highest priority we have, and I never get confused by that, is to ensure the safety of our students and our staff. All other priorities come after that most sacred obligation. And so, as we reflect on what happened on Friday of last week, we will do what we have to do, and that is to learn from that tragic occurrence. We will ask those tough questions about if that were to have occurred in our school district. What would our response have been? Could there have been things that we could have done? And we have to learn, and we have to constantly challenge ourselves to continue to think about what it's going to take to keep our students and our staff safe. We have worked diligently since first hearing about this tragic occurrence on Friday to reach out to our principals to make sure that everything that can be done at every school is in fact right now being done. Principals are reviewing their crisis plans. They are communicating actively with their staffs and with their parent communities. We have been interchanging conversations with our principals to continue to think about what we need to do to keep our schools safe. We are very proud of the relationship we have with our city and county providers of law enforcement and the individuals who are so much tasked to keep our schools safe. And I appreciate the offers of assistance from our city and county partners as they have increased security this week in our schools. I want to be very clear that they are doing this not because we are concerned or we have knowledge of some security issue or threat, but because we believe that after such a horrific event as we saw last Friday, simply having an increased security presence in our schools will bring comfort to our families and our parents as they drop off their precious loved ones, and to our teachers and our staff and our administrators as they go about the business of being about every child every day for a better tomorrow. We have worked to send information to our schools and directly to our principals and teachers to have the difficult conversations that they're going to have this week. Our young children will ask questions, some out of a natural curiosity, some out of fear. And they will ask questions that we as adults don't have answers for. But the information that we have sent from organizations like the American Association of School Psychologists will help provide information and to answer as many of those questions as we can. And so we will continue to do what we need to do. We will continue to monitor how we ensure the safety of our schools. We will learn from this event, and we will make adjustments as we learn. And so what we want to do today is to share with you some of the things that we're doing now and some of the things that we're going to do in the future. And I will now ask our Chief Information Officer, our Chief Operating Officer, Millard House, to come to the podium and speak about some of those things that we're doing now and will be doing in the future. Millard.
Thank you, Heath. As Superintendent Morrison indicated, it is with heavy hearts that we lift up all the thoughts and prayers that we hopefully will see to go out to our Newtown neighbors in Connecticut. At CMS, the safety of our students, staff, and visitors is our top priority. It is a must that we listen to our patrons and we hear the cries that are going on across the country right now. To that end, we will be reviewing and evaluating our current crisis plans and security measures that we take on a daily basis in CMS. CMS is fortunate to have a strong collaborative partnership with police departments throughout the county. As you can see behind me, we have a collective group of individuals that we're proud to see as collaborative partners. Just to ensure that you all know, as Superintendent Morrison indicated, these individuals reached out to us during this critical time, and we're very, very proud to have these individuals as partners. Of course, in no particular order, behind me, Chief Monroe with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department, also Chip Bailey with the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Department, Rob Hunter with the Matthews Police Department, Tim Ledford with the Mint Hill Police Department, Michael Kegg with the Huntersville Police Department, and Captain Buckham with the Cornelius Police Department, as well as Lieutenant Miller with the Pineville Police Department. These individuals are key players in the collective relationship moving forward that we will have in understanding what we can do a little bit differently and focus on the efforts that we're currently doing as well as we speak. We've contacted these police chiefs in the county with the intention of exploring precautionary measures and steps that may be needed to ensure that our students, parents, and staff understand that we are being as intentional as possible moving forward with the safety of our students. Some of the proactive measures that we have focused on already in CMS include the development and monitoring of our crisis plans that our Safe School Department and our Safe School Coordinator in CMS focuses on an annual basis. We also have developed some sign-in requirements that we've even ramped up in our most recent visitors policy in CMS. We also have student resource officers that are actually at every CMS middle school and high school, which is an important piece of the puzzle as well. All of our CMS high schools have camera systems that we can actually monitor at our central system at CMS. We also have a CMS police department, which Bud Cecina is our police chief, and he does a great job with helping to monitor what happens at many of our sites, especially our elementary school sites. We will continue to work towards ensuring that the safety of our CMS patrons is our top priority. One of the things that was mentioned in Newtown that has been something that's been lifted up over the course of time is the lockdown procedures. And we want to let our patrons know that lockdown procedures are proactively being utilized internally and externally. And what I mean by internally, if there's an intruder on campus, we have a procedure that we've lifted up and proactively we're utilizing in CMS, as well as external things that may happen in and around schools where we lock down the entire building. These are just a few of the things that we currently have in place that we'll continuously be looking at, that we'll be working with the partners behind me to ensure that we have the best procedures moving forward. Chief Monroe.
Good morning. As you've heard already, we here in Charlotte, with heavy hearts, send out our condolences to those that have been faced with such a tragic incident in Connecticut. This weekend, shortly after the incident in Connecticut, I had the opportunity to speak personally with Dr. Morrison as it relates to ensuring that we're doing all that we can, not only based on this incident, but going forward, what type of things could we do to make sure that the kids in our schools remain safe. One of the things that we immediately started doing Saturday is making sure that every officer within the department was familiar with our active shooter provisions. All too often as you transition through any large organization, people change, locations change, and with that we wanted to make sure that all of our members of our department were familiar with our response. We also talked about how could we do a little more work with our staff within the department as well as CMS staff as it relates to making sure that we each are intimately aware with each other's responsibilities and policies are as it relates to incidents of this nature. And we wholeheartedly plan on not only individually testing our plans, but jointly being able to test our plans throughout the county to make sure that everyone is working from the same page and is focusing on the same things. You know, one of the things that in law enforcement that we talk about, we bear an enormous responsibility as well as the school system in responding to these incidents. But we all as a community share responsibility in trying to understand when, how these type of incidents can occur. And as parents, teachers, law enforcement, we also have to remember that there are signs out there that sometimes we may ignore or may not pay as much attention to as we need to. As we go through this particular incident, tragic incident in Connecticut, and as we have with the 18 prior incidents of this nature throughout this country just this year, we always look to try to identify those factors that could give us a little more forewarning as it relates to whether or not something like this could ever occur within our jurisdiction. So I not only employ ourselves to do all that we can each and every day for the safety and the protection of our children, staff, and teachers, we as a community must always look within our own homes, within our own communities to make sure that those factors that we've seen aren't present or do not become present in our schools. So with that, I look forward to our joint efforts. In behalf of all the members of law enforcement that are here today, this is an incident that we never want to face here in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Monroe. And I also want to lift up, we have some outstanding law enforcement partners from Cornelius and Davidson with us today. It really is a partnership with all of us working together on behalf of our children, and that is so important. Our Board of Education, as we have talked about where we are as a school district and as we move forward, and we have several members of our Board of Education, I want to make sure I acknowledge them. We have Amelia Wesley Stetson, we have Rhonda Lennon, and we have Richard McElrath here with us today. Again, the safety of our students is the utmost importance. As we think about what happened in Newtown, Connecticut over this past weekend, the tragic loss of life of students and of teachers and administrators tasked to serve those students, there's just a lot of learnings that we have to do in this community and every community. We are a country where we have to acknowledge that there's too many incidents of violence. There's too many ways to hurt or kill people and not enough to address mental illness. Until we start having those conversations, we're going to continue to see incidences where people are impacted by violence, whether it is in a shopping mall as it was recently, whether it's in a movie theater as it was in Colorado over the summer, or as it was this past Friday at one of our elementary schools. We have to stop this violence. So we will, as I said, take every measure we can. We will look at where we are. We will look at where we need to be. We will continue to focus on our mission about being about every child, every day for a better tomorrow, focused entirely on how to make sure they do, in fact, have that better tomorrow.